All right, this one is different yet again. Today I'll be talking about how to bring a guitar with you onto a plane. And the reasoning behind this, well, oftentimes when you're boarding a plane, you have both a checked bag and carry-on bags. Reason why you want to bring bags like this as a carry-on, because as a checked bag, there's a high chance of this being broken by baggage handlers or whoever else is going to handle your bags. So that's the reasoning behind it. And my personal experience, I'm going to be talking about my personal experience. I flew across 2 different continents, 3 different countries, Brazil, Mexico, and the US, flying with the guitar. So I've learned a thing or two. I'll be sharing my personal experience. First off, before actually flying with a guitar, packing it first. First off, you want to have a soft case. This is a soft case rather than something that's hard. Reason being, although a hard case is going to have more protection for your guitar, which can be quite delicate, especially the neck of the guitar. A soft case like this is going to have a smaller profile than something that's larger, which makes it easier for you to be able to bring this thing on with you onto a plane. And as for the different airlines, each airline is going to have their own policy. Of course, it's wise to read up on it first. And even those that, according to their baggage policy, allow these items to be brought on as carry-on items, sometimes you'll meet some resistance from what I call gatekeepers. These could be the flight attendants or the baggage handlers or a person that checks you in. Right. With that said, so once you have your soft case, what you want to have on the inside, which I actually don't have right now, is you want to have a couple of shirts wrapped around the neck. This is the neck of the guitar, as this is the most sensitive part, the most fragile part, rather, of your guitar. You want to have that protected. And preferably, once you have this wrapped around with a couple of shirts acting as bubble wrap, essentially. You want to stuff as much clothes as possible into the rest of the guitar, which adds as more padding. With that said, that's packing the guitar. Now on to buying the ticket. So in terms of buying a ticket, you want to buy from the airline directly. Reasoning behind that is when you buy from an airline directly, you have a higher likelihood of being able to check in online. And the reason why you want to check in online is you don't want to check in at the airport, preferably, as that is another person that can tell you you're not allowed to bring this on. So that's the reason behind it. You want to avoid one of the gatekeepers, the first gatekeeper, which is the check-in attendant. If you check in online, you have your boarding pass on your phone, then you can just go straight to security. Of course, you want to check in early when you actually get to the airport. And what was I going to say? You want to check in early, and you want to pick a seat more towards the back. The reason why you want to check in early and have a seat towards the back is if you are seated more towards the back, normally you're allowed to board the plane earlier than most people, which leaves more room in the overhead bin, which is where this is going to go, in the overhead bins. And once you're at the airport, if you are unable to purchase a ticket with the airline and check in online and have the app of the airline downloaded, if you have to check in person, what you do from there is, once you get there early, again, you have to get there early, is you leave your guitar when you're in line, about to go, you're in line trying to get your ticket, trying to check in. You leave your guitar somewhere where you can actually still see it, say over here, and you're in line, so it looks like it's not your guitar, but it's actually yours. But you always want to keep your eyes on it at all times. It's highly unlikely that someone's going to mess with it. The greater concern is someone is going to, well, one of the security people at the airport is going to think this is a threat, and they may try to take the guitar. So that's why you want to keep your eyes on it. And the reason why you don't want to have it on you when you get your boarding pass is you want to make it look like you have less luggage than you actually do. Right, so once you have your boarding pass in hand and you proceed to security, what you do not want to do when you're proceeding to security and they're checking your boarding pass is you don't want to wear your guitar like this so that it looks quite obvious that you have a guitar on you, a very large bag. What you want to do instead is when you're interacting with all gatekeepers from this point forward, from security to immigration to actually getting onto your plane, you want to have your guitar like this. So it's sort of like those little rolling luggages. And when you're talking to all these people, these gatekeepers, say that they're here on my left, your right side, you want to position your body so that it's sort of blocking the view of the guitar. So it's you, kind of looks like this. So it looks more inconspicuous that you actually have a large piece of luggage with you. You do this with the security, the flight attendants, the check-in people when you're at the gate. So it looks a bit smaller. And whenever you have to move, what I'm doing right now, you just lift it a few inches off the floor and you walk like this. Again, you keep the people that are watching you on this side so that it looks smaller, and sometimes I might even drag it a few feet, a few meters, so it looks like it's one of those rolling ones. And once you get past security and you're at your boarding gate, you don't want to sit right in front of the boarding gate, as it will be more in sight to the people that are responsible for getting you on the plane that you have a large piece of luggage. You want to sit a bit further away, and you rush towards the gate once your boarding group is called. And you don't want to be in line by yourself. When you're going onto the plane or when you're passing through security, you want to be part of a sizable group that is queuing up so that you can sort of blend in. And the people that are responsible for inspecting documents are under more pressure to keep the line going, and therefore are less likely to give you crap on having this with you. Right, so, and once you have finished checking in, as in you're at the boarding gate and the attendant has checked your boarding pass, you're getting onto the plane, going on those long hallways that you have to walk through before you actually get on the plane. The coast is not clear yet, as baggage handlers can still be standing just a few feet away from the actual aircraft. And the flight attendants that greet you, they can sometimes tell you that you're not allowed to bring this on. So even at that point when you're about to get on the plane, you still want to hold your bag like this. Be kind of sneaky about it and make sure to make strong eye contact so that they're less likely to look down at your bag. Of course, smile too, so that you look friendly, and you don't want to be rude. Even if they give you saying you're not allowed to bring this on, you still want to be polite with these people, as they are very likely determining the life or death of your musical instrument. And when you're right about to board the plane and someone says you're not allowed to bring this on, say the flight attendant that is greeting you or the baggage handlers that are standing just a few feet away from the aircraft, if they say you're not allowed to bring this on, what I did, and from my personal experience, is you delay. So maybe you repeat their question, you ask, why am I not allowed to bring this on? Just even if you delay for 30 seconds or a minute, what happens behind you when you're getting on the plane is more people start queuing up. And the people that are stopping you are under more pressure to keep the line going. So from my experience, that's how I brought my guitar on a couple of my flights when I was stopped. And as you can see, the guitar is still intact. And the coast is not clear until you're on the plane and there are several people behind you trying to get to their seats. That's the only time when you are actually clear. And of course, you want to get there early as you want more overhead space available for you to put this piece of equipment on. So yeah, that was my experience flying 9 different flights across 3 countries. Hopefully the people that have musical instruments that are bulky like this one will find it helpful. And that's all I have to say right now. Kingston out.